very good Friday morning to everyone out there. Landon here in the driver's seat with you, bringing you your final day of the work weeks, whether or not forecast update, courtesy of On Target. Get a look out here, folks. We have got very warm, very humid conditions that are on the horizon for us that will begin today. You can blatantly see, looking here at the latest surface map, that we have got a warm front that is steadily lifting to the north and east across the region. We got cloud cover that's slipping in here behind it. We're going to be looking at partly to mostly sunny skies throughout the day, but the deep southwesterly flow is going to be taking temperatures skyrocketing up between the low to mid 80s as we progress throughout this afternoon. Let's get a look across the region, shall we? We got some of the cloud cover moving in, overlooking the D93 sky cam in downtown Bowling Green, trekking right over the water tower there. Got some wispy clouds there tracking in out of the south and west early this morning. Taking a look down over Gold City, Sexton Bin Builder sky cam. Got a bit more sunshine in the sky, and that looks like that's what we're going to be experiencing throughout the vast majority of today. Temperature-wise, we are already sitting between the low and mid 60s region-wide. These are only going to climb as the day wears on. Going to be looking at those strong southwesterly winds. It's going to be escorting those thermometers all the way up between the low and mid 80s. Let's jump over here and let's take a look in the short term and give you the breakdown. First and foremost, as we work throughout the day, despite the warmth, we're going to be battling those very strong winds. We're going to see winds of the magnitude of 25 to 35 plus miles an hour at times as we work throughout the day. Secure the lawn decor, God's Frisbees, better known as trampolines, all those good things. You don't want those flying around. We're going to keep that tight pressure gradient intact all the way through the afternoon, all the way through, and then finally, it's going to loosen its grip somewhat throughout the overnight, but we still have some gusty winds we're going to have to deal with throughout the Saturday time frame as well. That is obviously going to be keeping very warm and very humid conditions for us here across the region. Now, with a cold front approaching out of the north and west, we will have an uptick in cloud cover throughout our Saturday and Easter weekend. Maybe clip a few weak showers out of it, but trends are showing drier scenarios for us, at least until we get late into our Easter Sunday throughout the overnight and on into the start of the new work week. Take a look at these temperatures. Here we are working into the afternoon. They are going to skyrocket all the way up anywhere between the low and mid 80s by the time we get into the peak heating. It's only showing 79 here on the model guidance, folks. Sometimes models are known to underdo it a bit with that strong southwesterly flow. That's why I expect some of us might even see highs hit the mid 80s as we work into this afternoon. We get into this evening, cold front approaches here out of the north and west. You can blatantly see it, but it gets hung up right along the Ohio River here, and that's going to allow for even warm temperatures to make a return throughout our Saturday. We're going to be right back up between the low and mid 80s, with even a similar scenario following throughout Easter Sunday as well. Here we are looking at the big picture, and here we are focusing on tonight. This is the setup. We've got this low that's bellowing north and east here up into Canada. Cold front extends out with this low right here over the panhandle of Texas, right around Amarillo, if you will. This low is going to be deepening and driving off to the north and east, bringing an associated cold front along with it. That's what's going to be arriving late in the weekend. That's why we're holding off on any significant rain chances until then. But take a look at the behavior of our synoptic setup here as we progress throughout the weekend. That cold front sets and hangs up right along the Ohio River and moves at a snail's pace south and east towards the region, but it doesn't quite make it here. This is why we're favoring a majority of a dry scenario, albeit a few hit and miss showers with an uptick in cloud cover expected throughout the weekend. Here we are rolling into Easter Sunday. That front remains to our north and west. And then finally, as we work into the overnight on Sunday, into the start of the new work week, we've got the deepening low pressure system, associated cold front that's going to be swinging off to the north and east. It's going to be pulling that deep moisture out of the south to provide a foundation to fire off widespread showers along with some thunderstorms. I'm not concerned with severe weather at the moment. We might have a few gusty winds coming along with this, with the thunderstorms, but right now it looks like our severe risk will remain mitigated off to our south and west throughout Easter Sunday. We did originally have the severe weather outlook for Saturday. That has been pressed further north. We'll look at that here in just a moment. Cold front gets through here by Monday afternoon and evening. That's going to escort in slightly cooler temperatures. But you'll note right here on its heels as we roll into the latter part of our Wednesday on into Thursday and Friday, we got another weather maker in cold front that'll pass through here roughly a week from today on into the start of next weekend. They could be bringing our next significant chance at rain and storms right back into the fold for us. And as we finish out April, it looks like we'll have somewhat of an active pattern with numerous little disturbances tracking in here from the west. We're out here in voodoo country, folks, stretching these model guidance out to 2+ weeks. Don't take much grain of salt whenever you look at it this far out in advance, all right? Getting back here towards the short term, here's a look at the Saturday severe weather outlook. Again, folks, we might catch a stray shower, maybe a stray storm on Saturday. I'm not expecting that. I think the cold front's going to remain lodged off to our north and west. You can see where the severe weather risk is on either side of the Ohio River there, covering a tier or 2 tiers of counties. But again, I think the vast majority of the Wobbles community might even stay bone dry throughout the entirety of the weekend until we roll into Sunday night and on into Monday. Rainfall forecast over the next week. This will be including anything we get this weekend, but in particular Sunday night into Monday, and then again following during the mid and latter part of next week. Half an inch of rainfall up to an inch of rainfall is kind of the range we're looking at. And right now with what trends are showing, I think some of us folks are going to see a little bit less than that. If these trends continue, we'll be watching it throughout the weekend and updating you as deemed necessary. Here's a full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast. Partly sunny, a very windy, very warm today. Low and mid 80s for highs. We got an uptick in cloud cover on Saturday with a stray shower or storm not being ruled out. Still remaining exceptionally warm. Easter Sunday, mid, perhaps even upper 80s at times with the cloud cover hanging tough. Then the passing cold front arrives. Sunday night on into Monday, we got scattered shower and storm chances on the docket with the passing cold front only allowing highs to fall to around the mid 70s. Return flow sends us right back up on either side of the 80-degree mark Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. Those next rain chances slated Wednesday on into Wednesday night. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Good Friday edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by none other than On Target. You all take care of yourself.